Good morning, Valerie Ling here. Where I'm sitting at this point in time, it's about 9:30, I believe, on a Tuesday and Wednesday. For me, during the sabbatical year, Tuesday, Wednesdays, I log on to the practice, the psychology practice that I'm a part of, that I own, and usually sit through the first thing in the morning as all my emails. And as I've spent excuse me, about an hour just going through all of them, I actually reflected on just how meaningful that activity was and thought to myself, I wonder how many people find going through their emails really, really meaningful. And the reason why they have been very, very meaningful is for a couple of reasons. Number one is our team has a way of responding to emails, particularly using their subject headers. And also in terms of knowing when to escalate something to me. And I suppose because also they're very, very meaningful in that at this point in time in the life of the practice, with the focus on the work that we do with regards to supporting people who are in clergy is one of our big ones, as well as supporting people who burn out and supporting our community during our mental health crisis in this pandemic. Every issue that's escalated is really meaningful. So I wanted to just hop on and talk about, streamlining your world so that at the end of the day, particularly if you are working from home and you are still struggling with all the different things that come to you to make these micro decisions, if you are staying at home and you are with housemates, roommates, or taking care of kids at the same time, it's like there's an opportunity now, right, to ask you all these questions because there's nobody else to talk to. So it's like, let's ask you. So here's a couple of things I've done in my personal life and in my professional life and just passing it on. One of the first things that I did was I just made the global decision that we would now do online shopping. And in that global decision of doing online shopping, I just select now from the things that I've purchased before. So we're really just down to some basic staples. We have raisin toast, or we have normal bread. We have granola. We have wheat bix. We have one type and one size of milk. And we have another one for those of us who can't have lactose in their diet. We have these fruit and we have these vegetables. So our online shop really now has become just click, 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 click on the things that we normally buy. Sometimes what I do, because I have much older kids, is just set it up on the home computer. I log on to the online shop at the supermarket and I just say, put the extra things that you guys want into the cart. And of course I veto that. I'm not going to buy $300 worth of chocolate. But that's one way that we have streamlined things. Some other ways that we've streamlined our decisions is to really just have a kind of a decision as to what we're going to eat during the week. So we tend to have one fish meal, one vegetarian meal if we can do that as well. And then the rest is how we were doing like a series of just the foods that make us happy. And they were like the kinds of recipes that didn't take a lot of effort and everybody got a sense of a hit of comfort because of that. Excuse me. The laundry. And even that, we're streamlining that. It's become, I think, a non-verbalized challenge. Is like, how many times can you actually use the same piece of clothing and how can you actually prevent it from getting dirty during the week? Now, if you have young children, this is not that easy. I mean, you could get creative about how you're going to minimize your laundry. But it's kind of like, let's just see if we can get it down to one load because we're not going out very much. We're not actually doing anything. Active wear, is there a way for us to actually, use our active wear in such a way that we've also cut down on laundry? So, there's just some things in our personal life that we've just streamlined in terms of the less decisions we actually have to make. And here's another really important thing that I would say we've done with our personal as well as my professional life is once you've done the working out from basics for the reason for how you got to that decision, write it down so that you don't have to keep referencing it. And if people keep asking you, why are we doing that again? You're like, refer to document X. If you have to put it, why do we only have raisin toast and this, Mum? Well, because to actually go further than the local shops down the road, it's more than 5 kilometers. I'd have to wear a mask. I'd have to da 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 da. Okay, all that thinking has been done. We've agreed upon it. Refer to that. That's why we do what we do, so that you yourself don't have to keep going back to first principles and trying to work out why are we doing the things that we're doing. In the professional world, I've just discovered that at this point in time, actually identifying the high meaning activities in our business has been a really helpful anchor for all of us, myself included, right? So there have been a bunch of things that were on our strategic plan for the 12 months that we've really pushed aside, and then there have been a bunch of things that we've brought up. So though I was meant to be on a clinical sabbatical, returning to kind of mainstream clinical work next year, some of that has actually crept in because I've realized that my team members actually enjoy doing some of that work. And so we've brought some high meaning activities back into the practice, which just means therefore that the decisions that I'm making are really, really meaningful when they're brought to my attention. I guess we encourage innovation, and it's really nice to just open my inbox and see innovative emails. I'm not sure whether I've intentionally done this, but I'm super happy about the culture that we have. It's really lovely to open my inbox and get 2 or 3 celebration emails from the team about, what's been happening in their clinical load that they just really wanted to share. Sometimes they've taken some really brave steps as well. These are the kinds of emails I'm like, oh, so nice. Out of all of them that I cleared today, it was really nice just to get these high meaning emails coming through. So I've been doing some reading into culture in organizations, and you can't help but see that a culture of joy, a culture of celebration, a culture of informal wins being articulated is actually such a meaningful anchor. And can I say you can do this in your personal life as well? Really tap into when you're making decisions and when you're inviting questions, to also invite the things that are working. Hey, what if what we've done this week actually works, has made life easier? I just remembered we actually reduced the kids' laundry because, sorry teachers, they're just wearing their pajama bottoms. That's it, right? So they've only got like the shirt to wash. At this point in time, our kids do their own laundry. So yeah, encouraging that meaning, that joy, that culture really of going, not just what's going wrong, but also what's going right. So just finish with a couple of practical things. If you're working in a team, it's really helpful to give permission for them to put in their subject header what they need back from that email. When is this thing due? Is it for information only? Does it require immediate attention? And that way, once it's in the header, you don't need to actually then get a lot of messages to follow up, right? So that's one of the first things I would say. Number 2, have a way that you've written out the rubrics or the working out of a particular decision. It could be in an email form, so everybody knows what's underneath that decision. And then once that decision is made, we don't keep going back to figure out what that was about. Number 3, just create a culture right now of, there are a bunch of things that you can probably decide for yourself. So what's the upper limit of autonomy, if you like, that someone can make? So for example, in terms of office admin, we purchases, which is really low at the moment, we have a budget every month that, anything underneath that really doesn't need my approval. What are we actually focusing on in our business? We have a 90-day plan, so everybody knows what they're focused on, and those are the decisions that when they're raised to you become really, really meaningful. So I'm about to log off now and have more meaningful conversations Tuesday and Wednesday. As I said to my husband, he has the bridge for cooking today because apparently I finish quite unusually late because of some meaningful conversations. Hope you have a great day.